Hey everyone, welcome back to TFD. We got Sandy Brondello back in the headlines again, and I see exactly what's going on here. Sandy Brondello, man, she's got her eyes on Caitlin Clark. Yeah, that's right. Sandy wants Cece in Toronto, and honestly, I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, can you imagine Caitlin Clark up north, rocking that Toronto jersey and teaming up with Sandy Brondello? That could be wild. Now, let's be real. We originally wanted Sandy here in Indiana, right, to replace Steph White, because, come on, nobody's fully trusting that front office right now. Not after some of the moves and chaos we've seen. But instead, the Fever stuck with Steph, and Sandy packed her bags for Toronto. And here's where it gets interesting. Sandy's already dropping some subtle comments about Caitlin Clark that are making people talk. Remember that secret tunnel meeting from her Liberty days? Yeah, you know the one. Caitlin Clark, Sandy Brondello, and even Caitlin's agent were all part of that little behind-the-scenes conversation. And if you listen closely to what Sandy's been saying lately, it sure sounds like she's planting seeds. She knows the value Caitlin brings, the ratings, the fans, the global attention, and she wants that in Toronto. I'm telling you right now, this could be something. Sandy's a strategist, and if anyone can lure Caitlin out of Indiana in the future, it might just be her. I think she wants Caitlin Clark to make that big move north and bring her magic to Toronto. And honestly, that might just shake the whole WNBA landscape.
Who's like the hardest to scout against?
Oh, geez, that's a good Asia. I think Asia's really hard to defend. She needs a crowd around her. I think Caitlin Clark is really hard to guard, when she's healthy. Just her ability. She gave us a lot of handful this year, and, she can shoot it from way out, but she's can pass it, and I think she's been a tough one. But yes, it's analytically driven and trying to work it out. But sometimes the analytics may say, yeah, go under on her. She's not shooting so well. And okay, well,
that's
then
the best
she's
game of her life. Yeah.
She's just made 5, shots. What? No, let's change it. That's when I'm like, I always say analytics, it's great information. It gives you knowledge, but then sometimes you got to see where. Yeah, non-shooter. She can't shoot it, and they make 3 in a row. You're like, okay, let's play a little closer now. Come on, that's when you think, yeah, you just got. This is what I see. That's why I say I'm human driven and data informed. And
Caitlin Clark, you hear that? Yeah, they talking about you again. Look, man, she's just different, tough to guard, nearly impossible to stop. She's the kind of player that forces defenses to rethink everything. I mean, come on. She's pulling up from the parking lot like it's nothing, dropping those deep threes like they're free throws. And those no-look passes, she's slinging them from another state. Who else is doing that right now? Nobody. And Sandy Brondello, she's seen it up close. She knows what that looks like in real time. Remember that game where Caitlin hit 3 threes in 28 seconds? Straight bombs. Back to back to back. The crowd going crazy, the other team stunned. Sandy was right there watching all of it. She knows what time it is. That's why Sandy respects her the way she does. She's been around legends, coached some of the best, but Caitlin's a whole different story. Brondello understands that she's not just another shooter. She's a legitimate game changer. One of the hardest players in the league to prepare for because she doesn't just play the game, she reshapes it. So yeah, when Sandy talks about Caitlin Clark, it's not just praise, it's acknowledgement. She knows greatness when she sees it. And trust me, Sandy Brondello is not just watching from the sidelines. She's plotting. Because if she ever gets the chance to coach Caitlin Clark, it's over. The rest of the league better be ready. Let's take a listen to what some other things Sandy had to say about becoming a coach at the Toronto Tempo.
It's I've always had jobs in the WNBA, but never 3. So I was like, wow, okay, yeah, I could see myself there. I could see myself there. And they're all different. Yeah. And that's what made it really hard. And but I think the big thing for me is you're just learning from the part. What will where do you feel like I'll have the most support and to build something special? And I think that's when it back to, it's like partnership. I felt I could have had a great partnership in all three, to be quite honest, and just that partnership. What's their vision, obviously for the team, the roles and the alignment that we have. I think that was really a big thing. But just people. And then city, and then what's the opportunity, what's the challenge that's ahead of me. So I think that all went into it, and it was hard, but I feel really happy with the decision I made.
All right, let's talk about it. Sandy Brondello finally opened up about why she chose to take the Toronto Tempo job over the Dallas Wings situation, with Paige Bueckers possibly joining in. And honestly, when you hear her explain it, it makes total sense. She said it wasn't an easy call, but in the end, she feels really happy with the decision she made. Now, when you think about it, there's a lot that goes into a move like this. You're not just picking a team. You're choosing a whole environment. The city, the management, the roster, the direction of the franchise, all that matters. And for Sandy, Toronto checked a lot of those boxes. It's a new franchise, big market, global reach, and you can just feel the excitement around that team right now. On the other hand, Dallas, man, we've heard those stories before. It's no secret that the Wings have built up a reputation that's not exactly flattering. The complaints are out there. Poor facilities, questionable management, small arena, bad organizational culture. Players have been vocal. Satu Sabali, for example, completely lit them up on her way out before heading to Phoenix. She didn't hold back. She called out everything from how players are treated to how the team operates. So honestly, I couldn't really see Sandy Brondello jumping into that situation. She's a championship-level coach who wants to build something from the ground up with professionalism and vision. Toronto gives her that clean slate. Brand new franchise, strong backing, and a hungry fan base ready to support women's basketball at the highest level. At the end of the day, it's a smart move. Toronto gives her more control, more promise, and a better environment to shape the kind of team she wants. Dallas? That's still a mess trying to find itself. So yeah, I'd say Sandy made the right call, and she knows it too. And now, the biggest one of them all, the greatest to ever play any sport, Michael Jeffrey Jordan himself. You know who's been out there working, training, and getting her swing right at MJ's private golf course? None other than Caitlin Clark. Yeah, you heard that right. Caitlin Clark at Michael Jordan's course. We gotta get into this. Caitlin Clark is gearing up for this big-time celebrity golf tournament. It's gonna be packed, it's gonna be wild, and it's gonna be another record-breaking event. Like always, because when Caitlin shows up, numbers follow. The audience goes crazy, the ratings skyrocket. That's just what happens when she's involved. But check this out. Caitlin's putting in real work this offseason. She's getting that golf swing right, making sure she's ready. Last year, she almost took somebody's head clean off with that swing. Yeah, nearly decapitated a bystander out there. So this time, she's tightening it up. Gotta make sure nobody's ducking for cover when CC tees off. And we even got a photo. Caitlin posing with a young fan out there, and what's the kid wearing? The CCs, the Caitlin Clarks. That's right. The merch, the brand, the influence, it's all coming together. And where is this happening? None other than Michael Jordan's private golf course. Let me say it again. Goats recognize goats. You think just anybody can roll up to MJ's private course? Nah, not happening. That's not a public invite situation. You need that call. You need that nod from the man himself. And MJ, he made that call. Cece want to come through? Take care of her. She's good. That's big. That's respect on another level. And let's be real. Jordan knows talent. He knows that killer mindset. He sees that same fire in Caitlin that made him who he is. He knows greatness when he sees it. I wouldn't be surprised if MJ even pops up in person just to watch her swing. You can tell he's a fan. So yeah, I'm calling it right now. Caitlin Clark is about to win this golf tournament. I'm tuning in for every swing, every smile, every moment. This ain't just golf. It's another chapter in the legend of Caitlin Clark. From the hardwood to the fairway, she's out here making history and rubbing shoulders with the greatest ever. That's next level. That's iconic. And like I said before, goats recognize goats.